Hello, beautiful beings. I'm feeling compelled to share with you what happened after I started posting my videos. I started posting videos about 2 weeks ago, and I actually started doing it. I set up my YouTube channel when I was very sick, and it was the last thing I expected to be doing, but it came to me one day, set your YouTube channel up. Okay. And so I did, and it just flowed. I had no idea I would be able to even do something like that. But I did, and I've been making videos. I've been feeling compelled to make videos pretty regularly, and it has just been so joyful and exciting and wonderful. It's just amazing. I just feel the universe pouring through me. And then, like Muji says, the mind will come back at the most opportune times. And I have noticed that it comes back in with a vengeance. This was like a brain tsunami when it feels like I'm getting even further away from its grip. And so, to make a long story short, I've come through it and shed so much more conditioning that I didn't even know was in there, and I am even more free than I was before. Yay! Oh, I in that night when I was looking at all my videos, I did leave one up, and one 15-minute one up, one 17-second one up, but the 15-minute one, it mentioned that I said I was clairvoyant. Well, I'm not clairvoyant. I looked that up actually, the definition of it, and it's to see the future. And although things do come in the silence that look like a prediction, I don't hold on to it because that just feeds the mind because it will come up with 100 different ways of la 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 la. Like it has an opinion about everything. So I'm not clairvoyant. Being in my natural state, it's more like claircognizant, clear knowing, because from out of the silence comes inspired action. And in the last few days, a lot of self-doubt has come up in the, thoughts, but it feels real. Feels like I'm really doubting myself and should I really be doing this? My life, my story doesn't look like Muji's and or Eckhart's or Papa G's or anybody else that I admire. Well, I'm not them. I'm me. And even though we are all fundamentally the same beautiful universe pouring through these physical forms, we are unique expressions of that coming through. So, my favorite saying in the world is just be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. So, that's what I'm going to do is just be myself, and I feel unclogged. It felt like just being super, I feel it in my neck and my head. There's so much pressure. So now, having gone through this shedding process for almost 5 years now, I know that I'm shedding more things. It's like a snake when it's shedding its skin and it gets over its eyes, it can't see for a while. And that's really what it feels like. However, when I'm going through that or when it's going through me and it's leaving me, I ask Muji for guidance. I ask the ancients for guidance. Please help me see this like I need to be seeing it because I know if my thoughts are hurting me, it's my thoughts. It's not divine wisdom coming through. So I asked Muji a few questions, and inevitably I go to the very perfect video. And even if it's 2, 3 hours long, I'll listen to it and the answer comes. It's a joy for me to listen to Muji. 2 or 3 hours is nothing. I mean, Muji, I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming into my house that day and chopping my head off. Which brings me to a few days before I woke up with Muji. I was walking down my hallway, and for many, 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 many years I had learned to replace bad thoughts with good thoughts. And it did bring some relief. It did bring relief, like the only relief prayer did, the fear prayer, remove this fear and direct my attention to what you'd have me be. That's the prayer I started saying at 5 o'clock in the morning, like 3 mornings ago, when I was jammed up, so jammed up with in my head, just like kind of felt like I was stuck up here. And I said that prayer and immediately started feeling relief, like the softening and coming back into my, into my own beingness. And it's all an illusion. It is an experience, and I am experiencing it as it happens. However, I know that I can never actually be cut off from my own beingness, ever. So I was walking down my hall, and it hit me 3 days before I woke up with Muji. It hit me that, oh my gosh, replacing bad thoughts with good thoughts, or even calling people for, did I take that wrong? And they'd tell me, yeah, everything's fine. Intuitively, I knew they were still feeling badly or whatever, or annoyed with me, but I would listen to it because I wanted to feel better so badly. But that day I realized that none of that was ever going to bring me complete relief, permanent relief. I can't even tell you what that felt like. I dropped to my knees. I was in the fetal position. I was just folded into myself. I wanted to die. Like, I felt like I was dying, and I'm hearing right now, of course you were dying. The brain was the thoughts were dying, the conditioning was dying. And I I had no space left in myself. I couldn't even begin to fathom what I was going to do. There was so much pressure in my body and in my head, and so then 3 mornings later, when I woke up and reached for inspiration and pulled up Abraham Hicks on my phone, and Muji came up. There's two little boxes on top, two on the bottom, and then Muji was right in the center. And I knew he was there to help me. I knew it. Absolutely knew it. And so I was primed. It was like I was ready. I was ripe. I was ready. I was so incredibly desperate at that point. More desperate than I had ever been in my life. And I'm not exaggerating. I had literally run out of room. I was so claustrophobic in my body. So when I listened to his first video was maybe 6 minutes long. I don't remember what it said. But then the second video, after I got it onto my laptop and went out in the living room, and I woke up about 2 minutes in to that video, and I mean, wow. So feeling desperate, feeling that claustrophobia is actually being kissed by grace. I mean, I'm so grateful that I actually got to that place. It's so amazing being back in the quiet, the silence that I am. No self-doubt, no insecurity, no fear, no wondering what people are going to think. None of it. The chatter, no chatter, just blissful quiet. And to the mind, that doesn't sound appealing at all. But it's my natural state, and I just feel so blessed because the more time that goes by, the more I mature in my being, the more solidified I am in that, and the less there's still thoughts that come and go, obviously, because we have a brain to use. There's thoughts, there's the collective consciousness, but I don't identify with it. And I found now that when a tsunami does come, like Muji says, it is because I'm onto something, because I'm being true to myself, because I am being a clear, open channel for the universe to pour through. And now, when they say keep quiet, I understand everything they've said at such a deeper level all the time. Keep quiet is just let it burn off. I mean, just let it burn off. I do reach out to my daughters. I reach out to my parents. They're just such beautiful mirrors for me. They love me so much. And even if they don't understand what I'm doing, they can see my heart. And just hearing their words is just like, oh yeah, 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 okay. And I can like feel myself swimming back out of just the ah that's leaving. And now it's gone. And It can't stop me. Like nothing can stop me from letting the universe pour through. Nothing, because it is. It is pouring through. And I'm not making that happen. I didn't know I was going to make this video just now. I mean, I was taking a shower because I needed to. And then I came back in the camper and it was like, I'm going to make a video. And it's not even thinking about it or figuring it out or knowing what I'm going to say. I sit here kind of like tarot readers. They shuffle the deck and shuffle the deck and shuffle the deck. And I feel like they're getting centered. And then the messages come through. That's how I do. I sit here after I get the iPad set up and I sit here in the quiet and then I hit the button and then it starts coming out. So beautiful. It's just such a beautiful use, like the natural way that our minds work. And it's so incredible too because my body hurt so much before because of all the mental activity and identifying with my thoughts. Now, since I have such huge spaces in between any of that, if a tsunami comes like it did, oh man, my back and my neck hurts and my head hurts. Muji says that I'm saying right now that it's a lot like giving birth, but it's like an internal birth. Women will understand that. It is painful. It's physically painful. But really, the pain just comes down to believing we're something we're not. So, Muji says that, like, when Jesus was going through his shed of his mental conditioning, the personal identity, he referred to the mind as the devil. And the devil's like, oh, it's okay. I'll come back at a more opportune moment. And since I haven't had any mind attacks for quite a while now, it felt like, and I'm not saying it. I'm not saying I'm done. No way. I've done it before and I'm not saying it. I don't know if there is a done with the shedding. I have no idea. But I believe that I was feeling that I was done. And so I feel like the mind came back at the most opportune moment. And that is when I was, I put myself out here. Like I started making these videos and it just came in with a vengeance. But it's really nothing. It's absolutely nothing because it only has power if I give it power, if I identify with it. And it's okay if I do sometimes because it's a part of the process of shedding it all. It really is. It's nothing that happens is a mistake to me. Nothing is, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Even erasing all my videos, I'm totally fine with that because I've learned so much more. I've realized so much more than I knew before. Oh, I love you. I see you. If you don't have three beautiful daughters and parents to reach out to, you can reach out to me. I see you. I do. I see you. And I can help bring you back to the quiet, the blissful quiet, where thoughts just rise naturally. Namaste.